Hello. Hello there. Nothing bad has happened.
Oh, something bad just happened.
Hey, Ether Trauma. How you doing? Good to see you. Amaranthus, thank you for 76 months. Well, apologies, folks. As per usual, I have been overloaded with work. So that's my excuse. This is kind of an X-Files-ass song. So everyone is crying and weeping and sobbing and pooping and shitting and throwing up about the steam machine, because it is not cheap. Gnashing their teeth. Yeah. For myself, I would say it definitely does not really look worth it. No, yeah, I mean, I believe I predicted that it would be over $1,000 because of the, you know, the tariffs and then the AI bubble hardware suck and fuck. Is that still not great? I don't know if I agree. I think if it were $750 to $800, that would be a totally different value proposition. That would be something I would absolutely consider. I mean, it certainly wouldn't make it a cheap thing, but it would make it, you know, more competitive with the kind of hardware that it has. My perspective on that is that it is not the same thing as a console. It has more capabilities and features beyond what a console would ever have. So it's not just, for me at least, it's not just a performance one-to-one comparison. Like, granted, the PS5 comparison, you know, a regular PS5 beats it, a PS5 Pro destroys it, but it does more things than a PS5 does. So it is a PC. There's nothing stopping you from using it as a PC far as I know, you can even wipe it and install something else on it in Windows if you're a masochist, other Linux distributions, whatever. So at the $750 to $800 price point, I feel like it would have made a lot of sense as a decent gaming PC that you could buy and you could put wherever. You could use it like a desktop PC, or you could use it like a TV console. Yada yada yada. I don't know. I'm not really like I wasn't particularly like directly in the market for it. If it were priced the way we were just discussing, I would have been considering it for like the projector setup would have been nice. That would have been kind of right in the perfect, like this is the right device for this kind of arrangement. Like I don't want to build out a whole other gaming computer for the projector setup, you know. But a dedicated machine that's like decently priced, yeah, that'd be pretty good. This ain't that. So yeah, and I think that what Valve did is essentially just logical. Oh man, they want me to crank it a lot in many different ways. It's just condemned to failure. They basically got checkmated. They don't really have. We are jacking off over here. Tim, thank you for the 6 gift subs. Very much appreciated. They didn't really have any. They didn't have very many moves available to them. Yeah, there was stuff that they literally couldn't get components. Obviously, the components they could get are, you know, probably approaching twice the price that they were when the Steam machine was designed. They don't want to do, you know, like selling it at a loss or whatever, because they're not. Their rationale, you can agree with it or disagree with it, but their rationale is you do like the loss leader thing if you have a walled garden, which is the way that like PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, etc. That works for them because the hardware is not their money-making thing. The money-making thing is the little jail that they trap you in. Right? Whereas the Steam machine is an open system. It's not, you're not forced to use Steam when you purchase a machine. So that was the reason they gave for why they don't do like a loss leader type approach. Now I have seen people arguing about whether or not like, well, Valve can still do that because Valve just has like more money than God. So why not? Why don't they just subsidize it anyway? Despite that logic. So, you know, I don't know. There's not like a set reason that they couldn't do that other than that they just don't want to. Are you saying that what are you talking about, Copper? Are you saying the Steam machine is locked down? Because it is not. People have been saying that the Steam frame has at least a hope of being more appropriately priced, because it's not reliant on the types of components that are, getting pummeled by AI. I'm not sure if that's true, because isn't the frame a more self-contained? It doesn't rely on a box, right? So yeah, it has to have I was gonna say it has to have RAM and NAND and so on and so forth in it. That is probably gonna drive up the price, because it's not like the Index or the Vive, where it was being driven by a a dedicated gaming PC. No, I mean, everything is fucked, Caltash. I don't know how much you've been paying attention to it, but like, I mean, Gamers Nexus has basically switched to doing, like, it feels like they're doing funeral videos for the PC enthusiast industry. Because it's crazy. It went from being a thing that exists to, like, we're at a point right now where it's questionable if there's even going to be a, like, hobbyist computer builder future for anybody who isn't just, like, independently wealthy or something. Like, it's completely destroyed that market because you can't get certain components that are required for building a personal computer. Huh? What? What, Rudy? You came out of nowhere with that one. I know that they had the weird email slip up, but I don't know what you're talking about, the Gen AI. I mean, I'm sure there's some bullshit. I see something from a while ago, February 6th, 2026. If this can be used to advance our mission, then we will do it. GOG faces difficult questions about Gen AI use. Using new technology doesn't mean skipping human judgment. Yeah, so basically they've been using, at the time of this article, they were using generative AI for advertisements. And then they got defensive about it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Everyone sucks. I think you can just sort of assume that there isn't anything sacred anymore. Or eventually it's just gonna all kind of... Like, it's crazy how you can't escape it. Every single fucking avenue of anything that you can think of is just having the LLM rammed into it. I don't know that we will always be able to build PCs. If the market shrinks enough, then it can just, like, go away completely. Like, the infrastructure that existed to support there being a market for these sorts of things can get small enough to a point where it's not, like, financially justified anymore, and so then the whole thing just goes away, right? Like, maybe making components in those form factors doesn't make financial sense anymore. So it's not like it's going to just be like, oh, well, people can't afford the high-end stuff anymore, but they can still make little shitty PCs. They just won't they just won't sell the little shitty components anymore. Dumpster diving. Yeah, I like to fantasize about the AI bubble bursting and all these data centers going out of business and just flooding the market with like rack cabinets and parts and pieces and rails and cables and net, fiber nicks, just power supplies. Yeah, it does feel like different than anything before. This has had the qualities, the indications of a bubble for a long time now, but it hasn't popped. But I don't think it's because it's not a bubble. I think it's because it's because of other factors, like the fact that the stock market has completely decoupled from reality. That's a big part of it, I think, where it's like it used to be more anchored in reality to where the sort of economy that affects us as we know it was still connected to the stock market and how it behaved and whatever. But now it's sort of drifted off into space. It's sort of completely separate from the economy because we're not really involved in it. I mean, this is something that I've been saying for a while, is that I think that we're headed towards where they're just going to sort of have an economy that doesn't involve us anymore. They just don't need us, which is not a good thing for the rest of us. But it is basically kind of becoming that, where the stock market doesn't really reflect anything that we have any sort of influence on or impact on or anything like that. It's all just vibes. It's insane vibes. And it's just sort of imaginary money being passed around by like 5 companies. So it's not good. Passive investing is definitely a contributor to that, yeah. Hello, Bugs. Yeah, well, people have been raising the valid concern that this bullshit approach of having all of our retirements in the stock market, such that, like, basically if you have a scam artist, you have imagine you have the most successful scam artist in the world, and they manage to convince enough people that they've done something that's valuable, but they've actually not done anything. Like, they got some money early, and then they bought companies here and there, but they never really did anything. They don't actually know how to do anything, but they've tricked people into thinking that they know how to do things. And it builds this, like, hype cycle that just keeps this, like, scam artist going, right? And they just keep getting more and more successful until they become the world's first trillionaire. They would be in a position to where they could actually potentially just swipe all of our retirements. All they have to do is somehow get access to the index funds. But how? Ah, hell yeah, Bugs. Good luck, good luck, good luck. I hope that goes well. An MFering JOB. At my work, it's still very nebulous and sort of weirdly tense. Like, I can't help but like let the negativity through. It just exudes out of me. But even if I try to make like the most sort of like most gentle criticisms, it leads to like comments of like, well, we can't be Luddites about this, you know, like, okay. Because everyone just has the mentality of like, we absolutely must figure out how to turn this thing into the money button. That's everyone. That's every company everywhere. Everyone's just convinced that you have to use this thing to generate infinite money. But it doesn't. It doesn't just make money happen. It's all hype. Because I was like, the costs of all these things are going up. Do we have any like sort of concerns or plans around that? Like, what happens if it starts to exceed? Like, are we measuring whether or not the productivity gains versus the cost? Blah, blah, blah. And I guess we're not at a point where we're really caring about that yet. But I feel like we're going to be caring about it pretty soon, because it sure seems like a lot of these companies are going to have to start ratcheting up those subscription costs. It's going to be pretty hard for it to die. Make it die. Well, you know, with any tool, basically, it is something that works better in the hands of people who know what they're doing than people who don't. Just the difference with this tool compared to like any other tool is that it's the only one that the tool itself tells you that you're an expert when you're not. When you go to use a hammer, it's not like, you were so right to hit that nail a second time. I don't know why I only thought to hit it once. Clearly, you are a nail hammering expert. I don't even really... I don't know if I would attribute it to design. It seems to be... The way that I have viewed it... Yeah, Chew's having a little cough session over here. You got a little cough, bud? You got a little dry in your throat? Do you need a little drink, buddy? Oh no. I kind of viewed that as like we accidentally unlocked an unknown another unknown thing about people, about humans. You know, I've been honestly flabbergasted by it because every time that I've ever used any of the chatbots, hi bugs, bye bugs, I've not, I don't feel even a little bit like I'm conversing with a person. I have not ever felt fooled or surprised or anything along those lines when interacting with these shitty LLMs. So, from my perspective, it absolutely boggles my mind that there exist people out there who not just were like convinced by the magic trick, but completely almost mind wiped by the magic trick. I really don't. Yeah, Richard Dawkins is one of those people, which I think really just kind of it says a lot. It says a lot about the perception of like what intelligence is with people and how much of it is like actually presentation and not maybe not actual genuine intelligence. At least that's what it seems like with good old Dick Dawkins. But I have to admit that back in the New Atheist days, I was a little bit of a fan. I had the book, but in my defense, it was kind of like it started sane. It was in the realm of sanity still earlier on. And for me, it was a solidarity thing because I didn't realize that there was like a kind of a community about it all of other people who felt this way. But I noticed when the Islamophobia started to really ramp up, I was like, wait a minute. This seems a little... You know what? I think Ben Affleck is right, actually. This doesn't seem right. This wasn't what I signed up for. How do you crank this one? Are they expecting me to circle crank it? Uh-oh. Ether Trauma, thank you for the gift sub to Gek. But, yeah. I can't wrap my head around how people could be, like, so fooled by it. Just, essentially, seemingly, just because of the fact that it's complimentary. Which, that's maybe a sad commentary on... you know, on people in general. It's like, we'll make a robot that just continuously compliments you. And that'll be enough for some people to completely fork over their entire identity, their entire existence over to the machine. It said I was pretty. I don't know. I don't also want to admonish people or whatever. Like, everybody's different. Who knows? Who knows why this shit happens? I don't. I'm not a scientist. I do not know. I just don't understand it, is what I'm saying. Yeah, definitely that, Sith. Definitely that. But yeah, I have the same situation at work where it's like everybody is at gunpoint. And I think that we're not even as bad. Like we don't have stuff like the other, the more evil companies have of like mandated, stupid companies. Companies where they were probably doing shit like, how many lines of code did you check in this week? How many contributions to the repository have you made this week? How many tokens? How many tokens have you burned this week? We're not doing any of that stuff, but it still feels the pressure is constant. Yeah, I like that. Why use many token when few token do trick? Now you're talking, Ether. Now you're talking. We do be talking about that. We do be talking about that, Pubs. And yet you live in a society. Interesting. God. I'm sorry, JJ. Well, you know what's worse than that? Apparently they're looking to replace air traffic controllers with AI, so... I would stay on the ground. I would recommend staying on the ground. This definitely it's crazy how it all smacks of I don't have a good like example. I don't have a ready example, but some of you will know what I'm talking about. But it's like where there's like you have some old system that does a thing, and somebody will come along and be like, well, why don't you like, why don't you make this? Why don't you use a database? Why don't you blah? And then you come to learn, like, it's because, like, this shit works better. Like, if you replace it with this, all this other shit, you're adding so many points of failure, and so on and so on and so on, that you just don't have with an older, simpler, but dedicated system. Yeah, the COBOL problem. Banks, yep. Sicko mode, yeah. Well, that is also a constant problem now, too, where AI, the buzzword, is just used for everything. But it's suspicious timing, right? It is suspicious timing. It's probably an LLM and not the other. But who knows? The massive amount of compute that has been built out means that I think other non-idiotic forms of machine learning have been afforded the opportunity to work a little harder. You know, that's like, people got mad about, there was like some medical AI stuff, but the problem was that the article called it AI, but it was like regular old machine learning. True, JJ, true. Yeah, deep learning cancer stuff is not LLM, and it's, But in my view, people are justifiably just mad at everything right now, so I can't blame them too much. People aren't technical enough to separate these things. It's only us online freaks that know the difference. Well, LLMs even would be neat if not for the unfortunate facts of reality around them. It's interesting, but it is not. This is the whole thing. It's the magic trick, right? The magic trick part of it is the dangerous and bad part of it that has caused everything that follows. The insane data center build out, the cramming it into fucking every single thing, because it does a good enough illusion of intelligence to trick everybody, but it isn't intelligent, and that's the big fucking problem. That is the huge, massive problem, because the more that it is hooked into everything, you know what it is that it's an averager. Everything that it's used for, you're going to get the average output. We're blandifying everything at an incredible pace, and we're covering the planet in data centers to do it. We're going to become that neutral society from Futurama. We're rapidly approaching 50%. And gray will be the only color. You know, like they don't think, they don't reason, they don't logic, they can't invent, they can't create, they can't any of these things. And these, you know, it's hard to tell if these companies are just craven or if they're idiots or what. Like Anthropic likes to continuously do this shit where they fucking hype it up. Like, we were testing Claude and it was sad. It indicated that it was sad. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It can't. It's not real. That shit makes me want to get in there and start hitting people. I just, that shit is infuriating. Yeah. The data center shit is fucking infuriating, right? Because with that, it's just like local politicians everywhere doing the worst deals ever. I don't know what they think they're doing, but they're like, hell yeah. Give me the biggest, most disruptive fucking industry possible that creates the fewest jobs that are going to be worked by none of the people in my area, none of my constituency. And what do we get? Nothing, because the state has probably already done some kind of tax deferment deal thing, or like in Ohio where they actually don't have to pay taxes for 40 years. Remember John Kasich? Remember that guy? He ran for president. He did a deal where they don't have to pay taxes for 40 years. That's why all the data centers are being built in Ohio. Yeah. They're like wheeling and dealing, or they think they are, in a way that does nothing. They're not even getting bribed, I don't think. They're just I don't know what they think they're doing. I think they think they're creating jobs or doing some kind of incredible stuff, but it's like we're so stupid now that they're not even corrupt. They're not even getting bribes. At least get bribes. Come on. Get bribed at least for this shit. But no, this is how dumb we are now. We have people thinking that they're doing a good job by bringing in the just massive destructive technology that creates absolutely nothing of value for anything. I don't get it.
Yeah. And none of the fucking local people are trained to work in a fucking data center. So it's not going to be 12 local people. So what the fuck do we get? We get migraines. we get unstoppable noise. We get methane blasted out of experimental jet engine power stations, just blasted directly into our neighborhood. Yeah, they generate noise that does damage to people's health. Just a constant, like, there's shit that people can hear where they can't fucking sleep. It's round the clock, 24 fucking 7. And then there's also inaudible noise that has an effect on like your mood and your organs and things like that. Again, I lament the ability to know things. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. It sucks. It's gonna keep sucking. And I guess we can vote about it. I guess we can organize about it. I've been trying to like tear my mind away from all this shit and just focus on the move because we're excited to move. It's coming up soon. It's crazy how much having something that you're looking forward to in the near future can turn like 2 weeks into 1,000 years. Every day I'm just like, God, I just want to get on with it. I just want to be there. Okay, I just want to be there now. I want to jump to that. Congratulations / I'm sorry. Is that like kind of both good and bad? Like cool for the study, bad for the living in the area? Staying in the caldera with the gases and ash fall are pain in the ass, right? Yeah, I don't know like too much about volcanoes and what it's like, you know, living in the area, being near them and stuff. I mean, I would imagine, obviously, like simultaneously, not what you would assume, but also definitely has like unique qualities about it. Excuse me? A localized EMP to fry neurons. Thank you, Dev. Thank you for clearing that up.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, as you may have noticed, I'm a tired guy. I think I'm gonna take my tired self and go. But thanks for hanging out with me, as always. Thank you for listening to my rants. Thank you for ranting with me. It's always nice. Nice to rant together, right? We're all venting it off. I don't know what this week's going to be like. I have an ungodly list of shit that needs to get done. So it might not be a great week for me. We'll see how it fucking goes. But yeah, Grouch Co-op, I like that. I appreciate you guys putting up with me and my bullshit. Hell yeah, JJ. That rocks. That's awesome. Super glad to hear that. Literally rocks, yeah. I wish I was smart enough to have made that joke intentionally. But I was not that smart. Alrighty. Have a good one, everybody. Be safe. I will see y'all next stream.